Wow, my friend. Rangers are busier than Edinburgh Castle, total madness. Today, we're focusing only on confirmed signings and exits, with some farewells coming soon. Here's what we've got for today. Rangers in discussions for a £10 million defensive target with League One and Bundesliga experience. Blackburn Rovers in advanced talks to sign Rangers star Todd Cantwell. Ibrahim Adel in the process of a transfer as Rangers make an 11th-hour swoop. Wright undergoing a Birmingham City medical after a bid was accepted. Rangers path cleared for Christian Arnstad as Rapid Vienna pulls out. Give that like button a punch and let's get this started. So here we are, just 3 days left before the transfer window slams shut, and Philippe Clement is on the hunt for the kind of players who can help Rangers wrestle that Scottish Premiership title back where it belongs. The gaffer's been dropping hints about new faces coming in, and it's sounding like we might see more arrivals than departures this week. Now, with Davies out the door, a shiny new centre-half is top of the shopping list. Enter Stanley Nsoki, remember the name. According to the French press, Rangers are in talks to bring in this Hoffenheim defender on loan. And here's the twist. Clement's already worked his magic with Nsoki at Club Brugge, signing him, doubling his value, and selling him on. The man knows what he's getting with Nsoki, and that's got to be a good sign. Let's be honest, we need upgrades at Ibrox, not just fillers. We've got the bones of a decent squad, but we can't keep relying on lads like Leon Balogun and Tom Lawrence, who've got more medical records than appearances. Nsoki, though, offers a bit of versatility we could really use. He's solid as a left-back, and as a left-footer, he could slot right in next to Robin Proper. John Suter's been holding the fort, but you know the score. One wrong move, and he could be back on the treatment table. And that's a worry we just don't need. Nsoki's got experience in League One and the Bundesliga, and with Clement knowing exactly how to get the best out of him, it feels like this one could be a safe bet even this late in the window. So here's hoping Rangers can convince Hoffenheim to let him go. We could do with a bit of French flair to boost our backline as we push for that top spot. It looks like Todd Cantwell might finally be packing his bags. Yep, Blackburn Rovers have decided they fancy a bit of our want-away midfielder, and honestly, I reckon it's about time. Now, let's not pretend Cantwell's been a shining star at Ibrox. Sure, he had his moments, but lately it's been more about him stirring things up off the pitch than actually doing anything useful on it. He's been wanting out for a while, and it looks like he's finally getting his wish. Blackburn's gaffer, John Eustace, has had his eye on Todd after missing out on Rabbi Matondo, and now, after a bit of back and forth, the word is that a fee has been agreed. It might not be a massive windfall for Rangers, but hey, we'll still be turning a profit, especially since Michael Beale brought him in for free. It's a good bit of business for us, shifting his £1.1 million a year wage off the books. That's money that can go towards bringing in someone who actually wants to play for the badge. There's been talk that Cantwell's already down in England, getting ready to chat with Blackburn. If all goes to plan, he'll be out of here before the weekend. And not a moment too soon, if you ask me. Let's be real. It hasn't been the best of times with Todd. Sure, he had some decent games, but the constant drama. We can do without that. The fans are ready to see the back of him. And I reckon most of us are just hoping Blackburn can seal the deal so we can move on and focus on the season ahead. In the end, it's a win-win. Blackburn get their man, Todd gets his move, and we get to reinvest in the squad. So let's just hope this deal gets done sharpish and we can put the whole Cantwell chapter behind us. Just when you thought Rangers might be winding down their transfer activity, here comes the 11th hour drama. Our boys are reportedly making a late swoop for none other than Egypt's rising star, Ibrahim Adel. Now, if you've been following the rumor mill, or should I say the rumor tornado, you'll know that this lad's been on the radar of Ipswich Town Leicester and now, wait for it, our very own Rangers. According to some whispers from the Egyptian press, Adel was mysteriously left out of Pyramids FC's latest squad, and it's got everyone thinking he's packing his bags. Apparently, the club's already slapped a £5 million price tag on him, and Rangers are said to be very interested in forking out the cash. Why, you ask? Well, let me tell you. This lad's been turning heads with his performances at the Olympics, where he showed off his knack for slicing in from the left and making defenders look like they're trying to catch smoke. Some folks are even daring to compare him to Mo Salah. Not that we're getting ahead of ourselves, but you get the drift. If he brings that kind of magic to Ibrox, We might just have the missing piece to keep the pressure on Celtic. Now, 5 million quid might sound like a lot, but let's think about it. With players like Abdallah Sima out the door, we need someone who can bring goals, assists, and a bit of that pizzazz to the squad. Plus, imagine the fan base we could tap into with a player like Adel. Egyptians might just be tuning in to catch our games, which isn't bad for the club's global image, right? Will Rangers pull the trigger and bring Adel to Glasgow? If he does land here, you might want to keep an eye on that left wing, because things could get very interesting. Looks like Rangers might have just found themselves a new midfield maestro in the form of Christian Arnstad, and the path to getting him in blue is looking smoother than ever. The young Norwegian, who captains his country's under-21 squad, has caught the eye of our boss Philippe Clement, likely due to his time impressing in Belgian football. With only a year left on his Anderlecht contract, Arnstad's been told he's free to find a new home. And guess what? Rapid Vienna, one of our main competitors for his signature, has just pulled out of the race. Thank you very much, Austria. In a recent chat with the Belgian press, Stefan Hoffmann, Rapid's general manager, casually mentioned that their transfer window is pretty much shut. They're not interested in Arnstad anymore, saying they're sticking with their current squad to keep the good vibes in the dressing room. Well, their loss could be our gain, right? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru himself, says we could land Arnstad for a cheeky £1.2 million, a bargain for a player of his caliber. And let's not forget, this lad isn't just any midfielder. He's a leader. He's captained Norway's under-21s, and we all know that having a player with that kind of mentality is priceless. Just think of him alongside the likes of Connor Barron and Mohamed Diomande. The future's looking bright. So if Rangers are truly keen, the road to bringing Arnstad to Ibrox has just gotten a whole lot clearer. Now it's time to see if we can make this one happen. It looks like Birmingham City are about to do us a solid and take Scott Wright off our hands before the transfer window slams shut. According to Sunsport, the winger is packing his bags to join up with Ben Davies, who's already made the trip down south on a season-long loan. Wright would be Chris Davies' 14th signing this summer, and you've got to wonder if they're trying to build a whole new team from scratch down at St. Andrews. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did we end up with this situation? Well, Wright's exit has been on the cards for a while now. He almost left for Turkey last summer, but that move fell through faster than a Celtic title challenge in Europe. Preston North End tried their luck too, but we weren't having any of it. But now, with Birmingham throwing their hat into the ring, it seems like the stars have finally aligned. The word is that Rangers are looking for £1.5 to £2 million quid for Wright. Yeah, you heard that right. For a player who's been more of a bench warmer than a game changer. Still, with Birmingham's billionaire owners, it's chump change, and they're keen to get straight back up to the championship. Now, as for Wright, he's got a lot to prove. He's made 120 appearances for Rangers, but let's be honest, those stats aren't exactly setting the world on fire. 12 goals and 7 assists. No wonder Clement is happy to see him go. With Rabbi Matondo and Ross McCausland looking sharp this season, Wright's found himself way down the pecking order. So off to League One he goes, where he might actually get some game time instead of sitting on the bench or, worse, in the stands. Let's see if Birmingham can help him find the form that eluded him at Ibrox. And with his departure, Clement gets to bring in some fresh legs, hopefully someone who can actually make a difference. Good luck, Scott. Just don't come back to haunt us. I don't know if you caught yesterday's video, but I dropped some bombshells there. I'll leave a link at the end for you to check out. See you later, and remember, we are the people.